name is Brian Wilson. I've been farming since college graduation, so for 40 years. We live in southwestern Colorado, and I farm with my son Landan and my wife, and we have about 2,000 acres of dry land and irrigated.
My name is Landan Wilson. I farm along with my dad. Live in Pleasant View, Colorado. Bought my first piece of property in 2017. Been farming with him ever since, and enjoy the lifestyle and all that fun stuff.
So the customer training has helped, especially where they talked about problem areas or servicing or maintenance or that kind of thing of the manual that's on the app. It's been very good to be able to go ahead and learn about that and learn some of the trouble spots, to be able to visit with other neighbors or other growers in the area. But it's been good to be able to listen to their experiences, their ideas. And we went last year because we just got the steamer, but this year's been a good follow-up, and just now we know and we can ask those questions specifically of, oh yeah, you know, what do you do in this, or how did this work out, and so on. So it's been good.
Through social media, you know, I'd heard about the steamer, and my dad had heard about it too, you know, through articles and journals and all that. But one of our neighbors, a couple of our neighbors, the Deckers and Morgan Quick, had steamers, and we were, you know, at that point where, you know, do you get 2 balers or do you get 1 steamer? And so we looked into it a little bit more, and decided that getting a steamer would probably be the best route. And we definitely don't regret it. It's one of the best purchases we've done. It's a big benefit to us in our farm and our operation. So.
But once we've had it and ran it, there's some huge benefits. I mean, beautiful hay, good quality, and so you go, how did I not farm without it?
I will say, you know, your guys' claims, for me, I'm always hesitant with the salesman. You know, they always tell you what you want to hear. Oh, this machine will do this, and I watch your guys' videos, and you know, I was always leery, kind of skeptical. My dad was too, you know, and be like, oh, may or may not be true. But you know, last year was our first year running it, and every single selling point that you guys, you know, claim is true. You know, the leaf retention, the increase in weight, it's just that to experience it firsthand really did, I think, help us realize that, okay, yes, this was a good investment. It was worth the purchase, and we definitely will not go back from non-steam hay. So
really helped our bale weights on. We put up a forage hay, or kind of a cereal type hay, and the weights went from 16. We have run a 4x4x8 Heston baler, and or Massey baler, and it went from 1,500 pounds, 15 to 1,600 pounds to 1,800 pounds this year. So just that weight gain and just soft, you know, stems, and just the way it is just amazing, just the difference. So it's been well worth, just a big surprise, but a big extra pleasant surprise.
My first reaction whenever I ran the steamer was very intimidating, overwhelming, and it was a hard learning curve initially, and not being able to look behind you. You know, you had to watch the cameras. You can't see the pickup, the feeder, anything like that. So it was difficult, but after running it, you know, it's super easy, super smooth. You know, I think in the future we'll have more issues with our baler than we will our steamer. I enjoy baling now, you know. It's fun to see the product, how pretty the bales are, and the leaf retention. So
by second cutting, we were way more comfortable,
more confident
in being able to, you know, when to go out and do it, and conditions, and
when too much steam, when we needed to apply less steam. You know, the Gazika definitely helped with our judgment, you know, of applying more or less steam as well. So it was definitely a learning curve the entire year, but it wasn't after you get over that first initial hurdle, it was easy after that. There's just lots of lessons to learn from it.
Something we'll change for the next season is that we've learned throughout this past, the learning curve. One was when you go down into the low spots to shut off the steamer, because it's usually a little bit wetter, a little bit more dew down in there, and so shut off the steamer. And then to kind of begin in that mediocre range of 60, 70, and then just be patient with it and watch your bale, you know, see what your gazeka is telling you, and pay attention to that, and don't get spastic about it. Just keep it pretty even keel. Pay attention to your temperatures and things as far as how in the daytime, how warm it is, and how much steam you're putting on, and just paying attention to that bale temperature as well. So conditions do vary, and it does affect whether you're a 3x4 baler or 4x4 baler or 2-wire, 3-wire. Each baler is different in the situation that you're put in.
Before, you know, we'd get up at 2 or 3 and bale till, I don't know, 8 or 9 in the morning. You know, it was a short window time, but with the steamer, it definitely did open up the window in terms of baling.
It does give you more time to do other things. In other words, you're not worrying about, is the dew going to come in? Am I going to have powder bales to begin with, or is it going to get too wet, you know, before I get the field done or anything like that? So again, that really is a big benefit of being able to open that window up of when you can bale.
But it definitely does help out in the operation, and we definitely will not go back to non-steamed hay. I just can't get over how pretty the bales look. You know, whenever I'm stacking and walking in the hay shed, I'll see and just be like, man, this is so pretty compared to the non-steamed hay. And
you know, we've got livestock that we've been feeding the lesser quality to, and it's just nice that you can flake it off, you know, and it stays together. Your leaves don't just fly all over, and so, you know, I mean, there's a benefit there that we, fringe benefit, I guess, because we have our own livestock. So it's, you know, it's not only does it look good, but it's nice to feed. So our hay buyer, the first comment he made when we said we bought a steamer, oh, you're putting water into the bales to make them heavier. I said, no, you know, it isn't. And he was pretty anti, kind of argumentative about it. You know what? But he's totally opposite now. I mean, he can see the difference. The weights are huge because it goes clear into Texas, and so that freight rate, you know, on the lighter bales. So it's interesting to see his change from, you know, you're just putting water in there when you're really not. And so I think he's kind of sold on it too.
For me personally, I've been so impressed with the steamer that I would be willing to sell everything off on the farm before I sold my steamer. The steamer really did make a difference, and I think it is a big asset to our operation. You know, I'd sell the tractor before I sold the steamer. It helped us, and it makes a difference.
Final thoughts on kind of the steamers. It really is what they say it'll do. It has delivered. It is not something that's fluff. I mean, it truly delivers increased weight, increased quality, consistency, baling time frame. You're not stuck to when the dew comes in and what you can do. You have that opportunity to catch. You know, you're kind of in control a little bit of more of what you can bale, when, and so on and so forth. So it did deliver on everything that Staheli says it will.